everybody, unless of course you're watching this video in the evening. In that case, good evening, and you are watching Time Travel TV, and today we will be talking about the restoration of the monarchy. So, in a previous video we talked about the death of Oliver Cromwell, get that out right, in 1658, and he was superseded as Lord Protector by his son, Richard Cromwell, who was absolutely nothing like him. Oliver Cromwell was very strong-minded, decisive, strong leader. These character traits were not shared by his son at all, Richard Cromwell, although people did say he was quite a nice guy, Richard Cromwell was. Many people refer to him as Tumbledown Dick or Queen Dick, which weren't particularly nice things to call him. So, when he became Lord Protector, the General Council reinstated the Rump Parliament. Do you remember the Rump? Because I do. Anyway, this was dissolved again by the army, because the army and the Rump weren't best friends. But General Monk up in Scotland, and the Navy down in Portsmouth, and the Irish Army in Ireland, they all supported the Rump, and it was reinstated again by the army. Now, General Monk, well, you're going to hear that a lot this video, because he's quite an important person. He wanted a return to the good old days, how things used to be. He wanted things to return back to normal. He wanted stability. And he had a large army in Scotland, which is all that really mattered in this time. If you had a large army, you mattered. If you didn't have a large army, you didn't matter. So, he had a large army up in Scotland, and he wanted things to return back to normal. So, on New Year's Day, 1660, he crossed the border from Scotland into England, and then in February he arrived in London. Now, remember King Charles I? Good, because he had his head chopped off, but he had a son also called Charles, and he was in exile on the continent. He'd spent some time in the French court, got a bit of a bad name for himself, so had to move about a bit, and he was in the Netherlands at this particular moment in time, and he issued the Declaration of Breda. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly. I'm awfully sorry if you're a Dutchman and watching this, but I'm not very good at Dutch pronunciation. Anyway, so the Declaration of Breda was basically saying, it's a bit more I'm going to paraphrase it, by the way, but if you make me King of England, I'm going to be a good king. That's basically what it said. I mean, it's a bit more complicated than that, but that's basically it. And he basically said that he's going to respect Parliament and all that stuff. So Parliament had a bit of a vote, and they said, let's vote to see if we should bring the king back. So they had a vote, and they said, let's bring the king back. And Charles came from the Netherlands to England, arrived in London, and they made him king. King Charles II! You may know from horrible histories from being the party king. So, do you know what that means? The monarchy is restored! And that means that nothing's changed. I mean, things have changed. We have a constitutional monarchy now. But things have returned to how they used to be. The English Civil War was for nothing. The Rump Parliament, the Long Parliament, the Short Parliament, Oliver Cromwell, Scotland, Ireland, all for nothing. We've come back to how we were at the start. And also King Charles II was just like King James I. So we haven't only gone back to when King Charles I was king, we've gone all the way back to 1603. Oh my god, all those videos I made, they're for nothing, because we could have just skipped this bit out, because oh my god, it was actually a very important period of history. Remember to learn this part, because it's going to be very important in school. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to Time Travel TV, and cheerio!